Well, hi everybody, this is Hubby with Just About Anything Garage, and this is the intro video to the Ghost Project video 2.2, following 2.1, of course. Beautiful day here in Agawam, and we're going to tell you how we got her together. This is the final piece of how we got her together. She's ready for the road, and you'll see where we ended up with her. So why don't you guys just hang on, and we'll jump right into that video, and we'll get her started. All right, hang tight. We'll be right into it. All right, seeing how we're in between things, waiting on some parts, we're going to stick a little segment in here on getting a tire prep first and checking colors with the trim rings, seeing how I have one off the car already. And so what we're doing with here is I just hit it with water, cleaned it up. It's got rust converter on it now on the back. Once the rust converter dries, we're going to hit it with primer and gray. We're going to do the same here for the front, primer and gray. Once that dries, we're then going to hit this with the red and see how it looks. I've been in here, it's not bad. I mean, it's a little rough. We'll see how it looks with the primer and gray. If we have to hit it more, we will. Definitely going to do something with this lip. I've hit it with a wire brush, but have to go back and hit it with something a little bit more aggressive than that in order to make sure that we're going to get a good lip seal on it when we do it. I think we will anyways, but we're going to go ahead and do that. So next couple of segments will be tire related. Before we jump in and do the engine stuff, the valve covers, which came out really good when I painted them, and the power steering pump, because we got to refill it, because we got to take the alternator off anyways to do the valve covers. It's in the way over there. And then we're going to also check our valve lash. Right, we're going to make sure that we're tightened down properly, because we got a little popping going on over here and I'm not sure what it is. So we're just going to make sure all our valves are moving and everything's kosher in there. So a little bit of inserted tire work. We'll just see how those rims look with the trim rims and the caps on it when it's red, before we go ahead and paint all of them. That way, if I have to, I only have to repaint one because I don't like it. So we'll see where we are with that. Okay, so we'll be right back when we're on to the next stage. Hang tight. Okay, so here they are in gray. They're more silver on Ghost. So if we're going to match that one, we'd have to get a silver for it. But this is gray. This is on the front where the trim ring and the hubcap covers. This is the back on here to cover that up. Or the back's going to stay gray. There's no big deal with that. We'll probably hit it with one more coat just to make sure it's good and strong. But we're going to hit this once it's totally dry with the red. And we're going to see how the red looks. But I bet you the red looks really good. And it'll contrast with the black on the pipes and the silver on the car, and be a nice contrast to the interior of it. So we'll show you that as soon as we got that done. So hang tight. Okay, you ready for the big reveal? Here we are. That's what that's going to look like. I think that's going to look ultra cool with the red and the chrome on that when we do the rallies in that. And then the tires that we're going to put on it is this stack of Avenger GT Mastercrafts P45 60R15s. So I think we're going to have a great looking, great riding package. But there's a little bit of a break as we're waiting on parts, slipped into the segment, and now we'll get back to the hard stuff. Oh man, we got a beautiful one. Gorgeous. Now we are in that heat dome, so it's been wicked hot. I mean, we're in New England, right? So, I mean, it was 101 yesterday. This is June 21st, 22nd, something like that. So it's like really hot. But anyways, we're working the vet, obviously. And I got to show you guys something, because I ran into an issue here. We're kind of waiting just a little bit on some stuff to come in so we can do a big push on it. In the meantime, I just showed you the tire with the red, which you can, oh, and there it goes. I got to remember to take that off because that likes to go ahead and pop out there. Anyways, we painted it all up. We got a good look at it. Now you can see it's all filthy and dirty and kind of chipped, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to put a tire on it, right? And I'm running into an issue, and I'm not sure why I'm running into the issue, but let me show you. I go to put the tire on, same size, P45 60R15, same as what's on it. And if you see here, I got a nick in there. See here, got a nick in there because the thing has been catching. So I destroyed this tire. I got to order a new one. And I think the overall solution, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them with the rims over to a tire shop and have them put them on so I don't destroy them all. Because I'm obviously doing something wrong as I'm trying to put these on. Or, I don't know, maybe you need to mount them differently than what it says. But let me show you real quick here. We'll set you up on the stand. And we'll go to put the tire on it. Right? What is going on? He likes to fall down, so I won't do anything. Anyways, let's go ahead and I'll walk you over there and I'll show you. We're gonna just do a quick video. Okay, so I got the vulcanized rubber goo stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do this up on both sides. So we got nice lubrication here. Put it everywhere, it's soapy. Yay! Put it up on the thing. Oh, let's go ahead and lock it in. There we go. Alright. Turn it sideways first when you're pushing on the tire like this, right? You're going to pull the swing arm over. Go ahead and lower it to where it needs to be. I have it out a little bit from earlier, but we're going to pull it in a little. There we go. Get it set right. Okay, now we're going to set the tire up on it, and I'll show you this for a second. The way that we set the tire up when you do this is this needs to come out. The top of the tire needs to go over the back side of the duck head and then underneath like this. So let me show you real quick like. See in there. Okay. Turn the light on. It goes over the back and then underneath it, right? And then we just go ahead and we get it on. Just go put you back up here. Up and push you down. And then hit the rotation. And it's supposed to push the tire right on. And it does, right on the bottom, pop, right? Goes right on. Now, let's do the top the same way, and I'm going to show you what it does on it. And see if we can't figure out what the heck is going on and what I'm doing wrong. Same thing. Okay? That goes up, that goes down, like that. You gotta move it in. This has got to go under the, goes up over that, and then underneath that, so it'll push it on the rim. Okay. Get it positioned right. That'll do it. Nope, I'm going up over it because I'm not underneath it. Let me move you to the other side so you get a better view. Okay, so we get under here like this. And it's hard to manipulate it, right? Because it's now on the... It's being a pain. I think that it would... See if I can get it. It's not going to go, I can tell, because it won't go under the duck head. Let's see if the duck head will come out a little bit. And the rubber's coming off as well. Okay. What are you doing? It's being a pain. Most definitely being a pain. Come on. Stop it. Nope. Come on, there you go. But you gotta be up here. Split the back up like that. It was going on for me earlier, but for some reason, this thing is not being cooperative at all right now. I don't know what's going on here. Really? Why are you doing that? If you do that, it's going to ride up on it. When you go to run it around, as it tries to push it on. Yeah, see, it digs into it. See, this is what it's doing. It's pulling out here, across as it starts to engage on the top, rather than going down. And I don't understand. Now, I heard you destroyed a $100 tire, so we might as well practice on it, right? This edge, I don't know what's going on, but if I continue to go with that, I mean, the duck head's starting to slip up, right? So the duck head isn't going to push it on, and it's going to gouge the tire. Okay, so I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm going to continue to practice with this one, since how I've got it all chewed up anyways. And because I can take it on and off as many times as I need to. But I'm going to take these over, and they're the right size. I checked the size of the tire, I checked the size of the rim. It's, you know, it's all correct. It's all correct. So I'm obviously doing something wrong, or for 15 inches with a large profile and large tread size, I might not be able to do it on this. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It likes to bunch up here, like right there, and I don't understand why it's doing that. And I'll have to pull it off the rim, but that's where we're at with that. I thought I'd throw that in there, so if you guys have done more tire changing than me, and I did the 18s on the Suburban, right? And there was no problem whatsoever. They went right on without any issue. But I don't know what's going on here. So I just thought I'd throw that into the middle and let you know it isn't all roses. You're running into issues that you can't figure out. I'll keep trying. If I figure it out, I'll update you. If not, they're going over to a tire shop to get mounted, because I'm not destroying any more of those. So I thought I'd give you an update. We'll be back. All right, so you guys get to see it first. Fully swagged out. The new branded just about anything garage shirts, hats, mugs. First to see it on the channel. Matches the logo to the channel, and we put on some polos, we put on a hat, we put it on a couple drinking mugs. Don't know if we're going to do merch yet, but we'll let you know if we do. We're just trying to brand us a little bit. So there you go. Yes, we're still waiting on that stupid clip to come in, and it's hanging us up on doing major stuff here. Like we want to pull the wheels off and get these tires off and get them down to a shop to do it, since I'm having a problem with my machine. But if I do that, it's stuck up in here and I can't move it around. So we're going to wait on that just a little bit. But I got bored with waiting for that. So we went and we did stuff. Okay, so what we decided to do is we go ahead and we've got these gaskets in the new valve covers that we have. We got them tacked down with our good old friend Gray, the right stuff. To do that, we took off the old ones. They're over here, which you can see I tacked up at the bottom where they were leaking, but this one broke. Obviously that was at the top, so it's not a big deal when it got tightened down. We're going to need to get some new screws when we put those on, because these have deeper mount points. You can see right here for that. So we're going to go get, and we're going to get cap screws, so they look nice, black cap screws to fit that, to do that. But in the meantime, the other thing we wanted to do was, why we had those off, is we wanted to check valve lash, and I'm glad I did. The reason for that is, now we're on the other side here. Turn on my light of this. It's, remember, we got a pop on that side, right? Every now and then we get a little pop, like it's blowing air out of it or something like that. We don't hear it on this side, but if you go around this and you look, anyone that's sitting off on its base circle, let me find, okay, see the cylinder 8 over here, these are turning free on the loose, when they're loose, and they're not supposed to. when you set valve lash on the hydraulics, you're supposed to bring them down tight enough. Let me find one that's wiggly so you can see it. Right here. This is wiggly. It should not be wiggly like that. There's no pressure, so it's obviously on its base circle, putting pressure on the push rods. No preload on those hydraulic plungers, right? Because they're doing that. So the way that you do that is you go through, you get them, you watch the valve opening, you go into firing order, and you watch the intake close, the exhaust close, the intake open, and when the intake closes, you're at top dead center, right? So that you know that you're on the base circle. And then what you do is you tighten it down until when you're twirling the rods here, the push rods, they should hit slight resistance. So this one, if it's on its base circle, needs to be tightened up a little bit. A, because it's wiggling. Secondly, you're then supposed to do a quarter to a half turn to preload that lifter a little bit, and now I can tell you that right now, that is not preloaded. So we're going to go through and do all of these as part of this. That one's really loose there. That one's really turning on it. So, you know, there's no preload on those. It's getting plenty of oil. You can see the oil up at the top, which is really a good thing. But we're going to go through and we're going to go reset these babies. Lash. Why we got it open. And the reason we're doing that is we have to take the alternator totally off because it's in the way when we do that. The other thing we want to do is I need to get to the fill on this power steering pump, which is underneath the alternator, so that we can go ahead and, if I can get it open, go ahead and fill it up. And then what we really need to do is wait, get the valve covers back on, get everything tightened down, fire her up real quick. Did that one break off? Oh, I hope not. I would be very disappointed if it did. That could be a reason why it's leaking. Looks like it broke off in there. Do I have a shorter than average bolt on this side? I have a strip bolt. 1, 2, 3, where's number 4? Fell down onto the floor. Yeah, we may have to do something here. That sucks. That shouldn't have been breaking off in there. I'm gonna have to do the old weld technique, see if we can't get something on there and get that sucker out. Oh, that bites. All right, we got some work to do. So we'll be back. All right, so we're checking valve lash here, and I just did cylinder number 1. So if you haven't done it before, the way that you do valve lash is you want to get it onto the base circle. So the way that you do that is you go ahead and you bump it. You watch your exhaust valve open and close, and then your intake valve open and close. When your intake valve open and close, you check them. They should both be loose on the rockers. If they're not set properly, if they're set properly, you shouldn't be able to turn the push rods, okay? It should, or just barely turn the push rods. So what you're looking to do then is to tighten your nuts down on your rockers such that as you turn your push rods, as you rotate your push rods, you start to feel resistance. And then once you feel resistance, you go a quarter to a half turn past that, the preload. Now, I checked these, and the first one, then you go by your firing order too, right? So it's small block Chevy, so it's 1843657 and I just did number 1, and they were a little loose because where they were easily turning. Now there's a little bit of resistance to, a little bit more resistance to them. So now we're going to go over and do number 8 over here, and I'll show you. We're going to go ahead and bump it on cylinder 8, right down there behind those things. We're going to look. This is the exhaust port right here. We got to wait for that to open and close, and then the intake open and close. When the intake closes, you know that you got them both on the base circle. Okay, there goes the exhaust valve on 8. There goes the intake valve on 8. Okay, so This one's set properly because they're pretty tight on that. Okay, so that one's pretty good. So 1, 8, 4. So 2, 4. We got to go and rotate 4 around. Oh, and we're going to go full cycle on that. There goes the exhaust valve. There goes the intake valve. Okay, intake valve's up. Yeah, that one's pretty tight too. Now we got to go over to 3. Let's not forget the wrench, because no doubt I'll get over there and need it. Here's 3 right here. So let's go ahead and bump it. There goes its exhaust. That's the intake valve. Okay, there goes the exhaust valve. There goes the intake valve. And they're both closed. Let's check it. No, that one's pretty tight too. So that one's pretty good. One is the only one that's been loose so far. You gotta go back over to 6. Two, 4, 6. And here's the exhaust valve here. So let's look for that. Okay, with the intake closed on it. Opened on it, and we're going to get it to close. Okay, so we know that they're both closed. Let's check their spin. Nope, those are properly preloaded. They're tight. Now we got to go back over to 5. Which is right here. And let's go ahead and do that. It's exhaust valves on this side. There goes the exhaust valve. There goes the intake valve. The intake valve's closed. Let's check that one. Okay, now its exhaust is a little loose. So what we're going to do is we're going to give it a 1/4 turn. Check it. Yep, that's got better preload on it. The intake's a little. Let's give it just a tweak. That's good. Now we're going to go to 7, which is this one here. Exhaust valves on this side over here. So let's get that to open. Intake opens. Closed. Okay, so we know we got that closed. That one's a little, the exhaust valve's a little loose. Oh, and the intake valve's a lot loose on that one. So let's do the intake valve first. Full half turn on that one. Much better. And let's do like a 1/4 turn on the exhaust side. Okay, that's better. And now we're going to check the last one, which is number 2. Let's get the wires out of there. Oh, no, 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 no. I got to go down and get it. Stay. Boo-boo, sit. Okay. Put you where it won't fall. This is number 2 over here. Exhaust is this one. So let's get the exhaust open. And I think I just saw it close. We're going to go around again. There it goes. So that one closed. Now the intake's opening. And it's closed. Okay. Now let's get you out of the way so you can see. Let's check these. Its intake's a little loose. Yeah, those are both a little loose. So we're going to give like a 1/4 turn here. Preload it a little bit. And a 1/4 turn here. preload it a little bit. Intake's still loose. You're still a little loose. Let's hit them again. A little more. Another quarter turn. Quarter turn. We don't want to go past that. Better. Better. Although the still, see, that one's way loose. What's going on there? Yeah, that one's way loose. These are way loose. If our popping is coming from this cylinder, because those are way loose. Let's roll it around again, just to make sure. One more time. There's the exhaust valve on number 2 opening. Starting to close. There's the intake opening. And it's closed. So we know we have it in the right position. And we're on the base circle. And they're pretty dang loose still. Now, check its swivel. Okay, we're going to do full on this one. We want to just feel resistance. Okay, we feel resistance there. So now we're going to give it a half turn. Check it. That's better. Let's check and see if it's wobbly. A little bit. Let's check this one. That one's still got pretty good turn on it. Let's go ahead and give it a half. Check its preload. Better. Much better. Yeah, those feel much better. Alright, so if I've done it right, I won't bend anything. And we should be preloaded and running well, and hopefully that popping noise will go away, because number 2 might have been the culprit, where it wasn't fully opening or closing, or something was happening. But we'll find out. Okay, that's how you set your lash on a hydraulic camshaft. So as long as they ain't screwed anything up, we shouldn't break anything, and it should work just fine. And so we'll find that out in just a little bit. We'll come back and we'll show you it running, and I'll let you know what I think is going on there. All right, so hang tight and we'll be back. All right, she's all back together. Got all the PCV valves hooked up. Everything is good. The power steering pump's been full. We made a makeshift steering wheel right here, the pair of vice grips so we could turn it back and forth. We put it up on a lift a little bit so there wasn't any resistance, and moved it back and forth, made sure it pumps. No leaks that I can tell, other than me spilling it as I'm putting it in. No noise is coming from the motor. Had to readjust the idle a little bit with the new vacuum on it. Got that set up. She's running really well. We'll show you that on the next segment. I'll let her cool. We'll do a cool start from her. But they look okay. The new valve covers look okay on there. Black on black on black. So this is going to dissipate heat like crazy. Anyways, she's running good. So we got that wrapped up. So we need to do the tires. They'll be coming off and getting cleaned up and bringing them over to the tire place to do it. Because like I said, I was having trouble on my machine with it, so we're not going to ruin any more tires. Still waiting on that stupid clip, man. The reason I ordered it from Midway, because they said it was in stock, but it must have just come out of stock, because about, I don't know, 3-4 days afterwards showed orderable through reorder. They've gone and they've ordered it. They say they should have it this week and be shipping it out next week. So hopefully we'll get that wrapped up. Everything will work there. We'll make sure that the horn works, telescoping everything, tighten everything back up, get everything hooked up, and have a lot of the little stuff together. We still need to finish up this window regulator, and then do that window regulator, and go through and make sure we got lights. We know that we got brake lights, we know we got turn lights, we know we got hazard blinkers. I know I have all the markers. Headlights are still an issue. We need to finish that up. But you know, the vacuum system's working on it fine. We've gone through that. It's the electrical part of it. We don't have any headlights, so we'll check. As far as I can tell, looking at the electrical schematic, there's no fuse for that, which is weird. So maybe a fusible link. We may have to do some excessive tracking down for that, but we'll get it together. So we're real close, and we should get her on the road here. It is the 4th of July right now, so happy 4th to you guys. When you see this, it'll be late, but I hope you had a really good one. And we should, I'm hoping, man, long before the end of this month, July, we'll be taking her for a cruise. We'll go get her registered and insured and get her running around, hit her with some water to clean her up, maybe give her a Comet bath with a green scrunchie to knock down some of the oxidation on this older paint. We're not going to worry too much about the cosmetics right now. Remember, she's a performance-based test that we're going to do, test vehicle. So we'll go from there. Anyways, that's where we're at. Things are starting to come back together again. All right, so we'll see you real soon with the next segment, so hang tight. All right, so let's do that cold start I promised you. Everything's together. I put a couple tie wraps on the spark plug wires just to keep them up and out of the way of the exhaust. I never routed it really well, but I'm not worried about it. We'll just keep them up like that. We should be good. Let's go and see if she'll do a nice cold start for us. How she sounds, let her warm up. She should be fine. Oh, you know what I gotta do? I gotta hook that stupid battery up. Because when it's like this and kind of in pieces, I don't leave it up on that. So stare at my mug for a second when I try to get these legs out, just to set you guys somewhere. Look at that, looking right at the battery thingy. Not that you need to see a simple battery connection, but we'll just put the battery on real quick. Side mount, we got the original battery for the vet here because we wanted to make sure everything fit. So let's see if we can't get this thing to tighten for us without having to get a wrench. I think we'll go grab one real quick. I am spectacularly organized, don't you agree? Alright, let's quick 10 millimeter on this, tighten it up a little bit. Get a good connection there. There we go. I'm going to even leave the 10 millimeter there for right now because I'm going to disconnect it later. And my light fell. Alright, so I'm jiggling you guys around. Let's go ahead and turn on our circuit, our starter circuit with the safety. Don't tell anybody, okay? That's my emergency backup. Go ahead and give it 2 pumps and right up. It should stay in idle. Yep. Trying to get rid of was that pop 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 noise that was coming out of this bank, and we did find the loose stuff over here on cylinder number 2, so hopefully that'll take care of it. Let it warm up a little bit. Pull the lights on and check them while we're here. I got no headlights, so I'm not plugged in, so I can't check the high beams. But we got all our markers up and running. Oh, this was being a pain. I got a ground out there. You're gonna see I tap it. I gotta fix that. We got our tails. This one should be working. Yep. Marker over here is working. The front should be on. Yep. Can't test those either because they got to get plugged in when we finish the column work. Come up. She'll go a little artificially low, but she's set right at about 900, 850, 900. Yep. Looks like the fuel gauge works, oil pressure's good, battery's charging, temperature's coming up, tack's cruising along. Turn off the lights. I'm gonna go in here and clean this ground up on this one because it keeps popping on and off. Got a new bulb in, I put new bulbs, so we'll wiggle that too. It's a connection issue. I like adding these so that when you're into the cockpit you can tell. And it reads the same as the other one. We have reset the timing on this to about 10 degrees initial. Works pretty well. We got a full 34. I didn't check when the curve's all in, but it's probably right around, well, I don't know what, 22 to 2400. Sounding good. All right, so hopefully we'll get that clip in, we'll get the steering all back up. Once the steering's all back up, we'll get these wheels taken care of. We'll finish the other little teeny crap we got to do. Get her on the road and we'll get driving her. So stay tuned. All right, we'll be back. Okay, so things are together, but you see my key's on. The reason my key's on is if I go like this, the obnoxious key buzzer goes on, and even if you turn it and pull it out, your key out, it's still buzzing. So it's like, really? And now I got that locked in there. So let's sit in the seat and play with the wheel and make sure that we can get this working again. What's going on here? Really? Everything was working fine. The minute I picked the camera up, we got it all back together. The horn is, but nothing's working. I mean, I got no blinkers or anything. I mean, I do have my pump runs. Well, yeah, we go. Now we're working. My pump is running. The windshield wipers aren't working, but that could be a blown fuse. The horn's not working. The blinkers aren't working. So I have it plugged in. We'll have to verify that we're plugged in, but I think that we do, because if I push in my hazards are working. Let's go check outside real quick. But obviously we've got some troubleshooting to do. And this horn cover, I had to epoxy because this has got little rivets that you peen over. I got a new one coming that we're doing that, but we got more work to do here, shimming or whatever to adjust it, because the horn's not working, plus tracking that down. Okay, blinkers, hazards are blinking, so we know we got that. I don't think the side markers blink, except the front ones do. Yeah, right down here and here. Okay, so we got a little bit going, but we're gonna have to go back in here and see what's going on. I mean, it may be a connection. We'll play with the connections down first, because come on, there we go. We got no blinkers, and I can hear it clicking it on. I don't know why it's not moving, what's going on there, but have to track that down. Anyways, things are coming together, but as usual, you got to track down the issues with it. All right, so just wanted to update you quick. We did pull the wheels off, as you can see here, because we're getting ready to take this down. There they all are, piled there with that pile of tires, and get them all mounted so that we can get that going. And if we can just get the annoying stuff figured out, like, I don't really want to pull it all the way apart to get back down there, but I might have to pull that buzzer out, key buzzer out. I don't know what's going on there, whether it's, you know, put things together and it's squeezing it and making it go. That's an annoying thing, so we may have to just get rid of it. Anyways, that's where we're at. We'll be back as we figure out what the heck's going on here. Alright, so let's do an update here. As you can see, we got the column back together. Everything is set up. This is the one that I epoxied for the horn, and we got everything set up. I did discover that the horn relay is bad, so we've got a horn relay on order. Over there hanging down is the blinker unit that needs to go in there, but it apparently is bad. I have one of those on order too, so that we can see if we can get the blinkers going. So we're really close in terms of all that type of stuff. But I had something interesting happen while I was working on this, and wanted to talk to you guys about it because it needs to be a project service announcement with regards to that. When I was doing this, I started the engine, okay? The reason I wanted to start the engine is I wanted to make sure that the battery was charged for the way that we were doing things, and I was working on the buzzer circuit too, because this thing was buzzing even when the key was out of that. So what I was able to do is discover where it was. We basically pulled it because we're going to change the seat belts on this anyway, so that we're not going to be able to use the seat belt buzzers, and I'm never going to forget to leave the key in, so we're just going to get rid of the obnoxious buzzer. When I did that, though, the steering wheel here started to oscillate violently, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, when it was up on it. And the unfortunate part was, I reached through to start this sometimes, and my arm was through here to do that, and it hit my arm, and it could very well have broken my arm. And what had happened was, when I switched the control valve on the power steering underneath here, right there, that control valve right there, I had swapped these. So I put it into a fast forward loop. And the reason that happened was, I wasn't minding my P's and Q's. I wasn't paying attention because I wanted to get this on the road. And the point that I want to make, the project surface announcement that I want to make about it is, this is not worth major injuries or your life, guys. I want to get her on the road. I want to drive her so bad I can taste it. But for us in all our projects, take your time. Understand what you're doing. Check and then double check things. It's not worth getting a broken arm. It's not worth getting a broken leg. It's not worth killing yourself for your projects and the things that you do. And it's purely my fault, my stupidity in rushing it to try and get stuff done that caused that to happen. I swapped it back. Everything's working fine. The arm's fine. It did smack me up pretty good, but I'll be fine with that. But while I had it up, I also noticed this. That is my jack pad, not quite all the way on where it needs to be. Again, not minding your P's and Q's, not paying your attention, because that one can certainly kill you if you're not careful. If the edge comes off, it'll teeter and fall completely. Now we got the wheels off because we're getting the tires done, but I'm going to lower this down. I'm going to put some blocks or stands under it. We're going to reposition that to make sure that it's safe. Fortunately, when I had it up, I had my elevated stands on it, so the risk of it totally falling, because these are like 2-ton stands, so they'll hold 4 tons together, one front, one back, probably would have prevented that. But again, it is not worth your life. It's not worth being that stupid. Take your time, watch what you're doing. And I wanted to say that because I know we get excited. I know we want to get things going, and we have sometimes a tendency to do stupid things. And there's lots of things around here where you have beginners and you have experts, but you don't have any novices, because novices start to slip. I've been doing this a long time. 20 years of my life, 25 years of my life, I've been restoring and working on cars, so I'm definitely not a novice. But occasion, and everybody does this, we forget to mind our P's and Q's because we get comfortable what we're doing. Don't ever get comfortable. It's not worth it. All right, so we're going to move on to the next things. We haven't got much to do for Ghost to get her going. We've got to put the wheels on, we've got to put the seat belts in, and then we basically need to get the headlights and the blinkers working, and she's ready to cruise. So we're really close, and we're going to work our way to get there. So we'll bring you in on the next segment when we get to all that stuff, or a piece of it done. Doesn't have to be all of it. And hopefully we'll have her on the road real soon, and we'll be cruising around and get to have the candy. All right, so we'll be right back. We appreciate you guys watching and listening to my little rant here about being stupid. Don't be stupid. All right, don't do that to your family. It's not something that we should do. All right, we appreciate you. I'll be back with the next part. Just hang tight. All right, update time. So let's just review real quick. We got the steering wheel and the column all back together. Everything seems to be working. We haven't verified the high beam, low beam switch yet, because we've had an issue with the headlights not coming on, right? So that's why we have the dash pulled apart here. What I've done is I pulled the switch out to get a look at it, and whereas it still looks functional, it does look like, I mean, you got some corrosion. You can see it right in there on that. And so what we're going to do is we're going to replace the other switch, and then we're going to go and we're going to pull the benzels off of the lights, and we're going to go pull the lights out so we can get it down basically to connectors and wiring, and take all the other stuff out of the equation. One thing about the light switch, when you go to take it out, it mounts here. You got to pull the stalk out, right? And on the back of it, there's a little button. You can see it right there that you press to release it. Make sure that you pull your lever out halfway. It's called the park position. Otherwise, you can't pull it out, no matter how much you press that button. But then you press it, and it'll pull right out once you do that. What we got to do right now is I'm going to put this back in and connect the hoses for a second. We're going to fire her up and get the headlights up, and once they're up, we'll go ahead and we'll address that front issue. Getting back to the steering column real quick, we put a new horn relay in it. It's not beeping yet. I have verified that the horns do work. At least one of the horns work. I couldn't get the second one to beep, but the first one beeped initially really well. This is working well. It tilts the way that it should. It's covered well. We're gonna have to track why that's not doing it, so we'll run through a series on that one to figure out what's going on there. But we're gonna get the headlights done. So we're basically down to the headlights, and we're down to the horn. The window, you can see that the door's back together, is working fine. This one works great. That one still won't go down really well because we haven't touched it. Might touch it later, but it's not a big deal to me because my passenger can suffer, because this is a test bed, right? So we're really looking for that, but I wanted it to be comfortable to drive. So we've got this worked through, and it's working pretty well. And we got the handle back on. If you remember, the handle was off. We had one in the parts. Lock works, everything works. Everything's working really well with it. So we'll go ahead and we're going to get that hooked up and get the lights up, and we'll go from there. All right, so hang tight. We'll be right back. All right, headlights are out. They mostly look okay. The connectors look okay. A little dirty, so we cleaned them up. The buckets, I got a broken adjuster over here, so I'm going to have to replace that one. The headlights seem to work, so maybe the switches or just the connections to them. All the other lights connections, wires and connections work. So I'm going to assume these are until it proves otherwise. We're going to switch the bulbs out anyways to make sure. This one's a little broken in decay. You can see a little bit. This one broke out here. We'll use it anyways because it sits back, so we'll be fine. We put contact cleaner in here, i.e. brake clean. Clean out the contacts, and we'll push them in and out and move them in and out and wiggle them. Make sure they scratch deep there. So that's where we are with that. As soon as we get, gotta order a brake adjuster and get the new headlights from Napa or Riley's or Rock Auto or somebody. And we'll get them in. As soon as we get the switch parts in for it, the new light switch and the new high beam switch, we'll put those in. And oh wow, Oh, I'm strobing. Look at that. Have fun with it. There we go. But anyways, we'll get it all back together. We'll see how it runs, and we'll just keep trying to. We're trying to eliminate it to get it to just the wires or the connectors or bulkhead connectors where it comes through. You know, I hate to play with the bulkhead connectors. I hope I don't have to do that. But if we have to, we will. We'll track that harness back and pull it apart and push it back together and make sure everything's clean. But that's where we are. We'll be back with some more. So hang tight. So how about an update, huh? We got the wheels and tires on, right? They're gonna look really good once we got them there. P245 60R15s. The rims are red on the interior. We got all the trim rings and everything. She's gonna look good in profile once we do that. Just show you. Everything's on. Looks good. We're waiting on a final order for new headlights and adjuster because we have broken adjuster. But I just swapped out the light control switch right there. I still got to do the high beam switch, and I still have no headlights. There's no juice up to the headlights. Like we said, it comes straight off of here when the power comes in and goes straight out to the lights. If it's I mean, I'm gonna have to crawl and go underneath because there may be a fusible link in there, and that's what's killing it. I don't know. I'm gonna go study my schematic again and see if we can't figure out. I also had a dead battery for some reason. I had left the battery in and off, so I had a drain there, but I may have left the circuit on when I did that. But we'll charge up the battery. We'll come out and check it again later and see what's going on here. But we're moving forward. Headlights, horn. Well, and then putting in the seat belts, but that's it. And then she's ready to rock and roll on the road. So we're almost there. We'll just keep pounding away at it, and we'll see where we get. So hang tight, and we'll be back. All right, how about another quick update? Good news. We found our culprit for the headlights. You'll notice I got those just stuck on there like that. Well, the reason we have that is, one, we've got the switch all in here. They still didn't come on. But I hooked the new dimmer switch in, plugged it in, hanging down, and tried it, and the lights came on. Now they're still a little bit intermittent, so we got connector issues that we got to deal with. But they're coming on and off. Now it's getting high beam, low beam. So apparently they run the main power out of that switch into the dimmer switch and then route it. So we'll get it in there. But here's the bad news. Where they mounted it on the column, right, we got this is the actuator for it. You pull it forward, it's got a little rod that goes down and pushes it to do it. I can't get there unless I drop the column. So we got the column partially out. I've got the two securing bolts here out. I've got the bottom ones loosened so that it won't pull all the way because it'll be a pain in the butt, but we'll do it if we have to. And I might have to, depending on how far out it needs to come, I might have to pull the rag joint right down there in order so it will pull out enough and drop so we can get in there. But my first attempt is going to be in where the bolts go, is we'll wedge it. We'll put some wood in there and wedge it and see if we can't get it to come down a little bit more. It's pretty firm and it won't come back anymore. So I don't know, we'll try and get our arm up in there and do it and get it off. If not, we will pull that column out and let it drop and then put it back in. It's not like we haven't done it before. Okay, but that's where we're at. And then just got to get the horn going, and like I said, the seat belts, and she's ready for the road. Certainly other things we can do to her to make her a little bit more comfortable, but we're good to go. So that's where we're at, and hang tight. Ouch! I just snapped my finger in the door. We'll be right back, all right? Okay, lights came in, so we have them back in here. Don't know if they work yet because we're gonna go and swap that high beam switch out just to show you what we're talking about here. I got to get down in here. I pulled the seat out so I can get down. I dropped the column down as far as I can get it without taking it out. And what we're looking at is, if I can show you up in here, right on the back side, this is the, right here is the switch. It's right there, and the nuts are kind of up on the top edge of it. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there you go. That's the switch right there. So I got to get a small wrench and pop off 2 nuts, pull that off, pull the lever out. The lever's right here. It's the lever for it. It goes down and pushes on the plunger. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, see that green? That's the plunger down there. So that's what we're doing. But I'm gonna go put you guys up because there ain't enough room to fit me, never mind me in the camera. So just thought I'd give you a quick update, and we'll be right back, and I'll tell you how it turned out, how frustrated I got, whether I want to jump off a cliff or something. Okay, so here's what's up there. Here's what's supposed to be up there. See that part of the bracket is they tried to JB weld this, and it's cracked. And dropping you, sorry. This turns. So this was definitely a broken switch. I don't know if they hit the thing too hard or what, but they tried to glue it back together and make it work, and it didn't. So now we get to struggle and put the new one up there. Yay! That'll be fun. Alright, we'll go do that and get back to you. So I'll give you a quick update of what was broken and how the new one's going up. Man, it's a pain being underneath this cockpit, but it's worth it. Okay? We got the low beam switch in, and look what we got. Watch, I'm going to show you. There's headlights. You can see them shining. There's high beams. You can see them on. You can see them off. Let's go up front and take a look. So we switched every element. We got all new headlights in, low and high beams. We switched out the main switch. We switched out the high beam switch. Look at that. It was worth it. It was a pain in the butt. You got to get under that cockpit. But there we go. Headlights down. Now we got to do the horn. That one's got to figure out why we don't have a horn. We'll do that. Then we're going to get up and in here, clean up the wires, get everything together, get the cover back on it. I even have interior lights too. And you turn it all up. So we're in good shape. We're getting there. Now all you got to do is get this sucker to work. And we'll have all the electrical gremlins out of it. And I got the seat out because it was easy to get in there, but we're just going to go and do the seat belts next. We'll go put that in, and then we'll go and do that side with the seat belts. And once we got that done, other than filling up the power steering pump over here, but to do it, to get to the cap, this is not something you can just do on the road. I got to take the alternator off and get to the cap and refill it up. It's whining. You can hear the whine of the gears. That's because when we changed that control, it blew all out of there. And then we should be able to go down to the DMV, get this sucker registered, bring it over, get it inspected, get her on the road, and do some nice burn. Oh, here I go again, making those lights go crazy. Do burnouts and start this down its journey and turn it into a fire breather. All right, so we're real close. So hang tight, and we'll bring you to the next step, and then we should be wrapping this sucker up, I hope. All right, hang tight. All right, beautiful morning here in Agawam, and there she is. She's together. Now we still got to do the horn, but that's no big deal. If we have to, we'll put a cheater switch on it. It can only be one of two things. Either there's no power to the relay, so the relay isn't closing when you push the horn button, or we have no ground coming back. So we'll figure that out. I need to clean the whites off of the tires, but there it is with the red matching the interior with the silver body, and she needs a bath. She's running well. We'll fire up here in a little bit. Just do the walk around. The headlights work. I got to look at this. It's catching all of a sudden and not flipping up on vacuum, so I probably have routed a wire that's retained, you know, when I did the headlights, that's causing it to stick. But we have headlights. We'll show you that. We'll fire up in a minute. And then we still need to do this. You can hear the motor engaging. It's just we got to clean the track and get it to go up and down. That's not a big deal. But in terms of what we want to use her for, we're going to use her for a test platform. We're going to get her out on the road driving her. She's ready to go. Sans the horn, but we'll have the horn fixed here. Toot sweet one way or the other. Let's go ahead and fire her up. I did change over and put the neutral safety switch permanently on because I lost the relay here, so I didn't want that to disable us. We also have a power drain. I don't know why, but I have a power drain going on. I mean, I get full battery, I got full gauges and everything, but when I let it sit, the battery runs dry, and I put a meter on it, and showing about an amp and a quarter drain, which is too much. It will pull that battery down real quick. Hopping around a little bit, so I probably need to tune her up just a tad. Go ahead and put her hood down. A bath, she's going to get sprayed off and washed. Now I do have a plate on her from Texas, but she's not registered. But what we will do here is I'll take you guys along and we'll shoot across into the church parking lot and drive her a little bit. We do have a little leak going on. It's the power steering. So I'll have to put her up on the lift and see where she's leaking. But we got a power steering. I could have overfilled it, and she's pumping out overfilled too. So we'll keep an eye on it. Put her up on the lift and do that. We'll clean these pipes up. I've got high temperature black we'll put on it. But hang tight here, and we'll go for a little cruise. I got to get you guys set up on the inside. So we'll be right back, and we'll take her across the street. Give you a view of honor here. Let me pull off the, there we go. You can see from the cockpit where I am. We'll do the highly illegal thing of taking her across the street. Try out our new seatbelts here. Let's cheat. Take her for just a little short cruise across the street. Not brave enough to take her down the street. Cutting across the parking lot's one thing. Ah, she drives pretty good. Nobody's coming. She'll dump some rubber. A little bit. break those tires in. Oh yeah, we're gonna have some fun. All right, so next things, we're gonna go get her registered, go to the DMV, take that awful DMV trip, you know, and pull her idle down just a little bit. All right. Well, that was fun. So we gotta take that DMV trip, get her registered. Oh, my gauges are looking good. Gotta put some gas in her. She's low. I believe the gas gauge works. And then we can take her down for shakedown, a little bit longer than across the thing. So we're gonna end this one here. We got her on the road. She's ready. When we go, we'll open up a new one with the shakedown cruise. We'll go through that, and we'll do all that type of stuff. But we appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching, and keep an eye open because we'll be doing shakedown real soon. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll catch you later. Well, hi, everybody. Beautiful day here in Agawam. And this is going to be a blooper because I totally forgot what I was going to say. Let's try this again. Hi, everybody. Absolutely beautiful day here in Agawam. It's August 11th. Hey, and I'm doing another blooper.